Hello and welcome back to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And this is part two. This is part two. Okay. Because, and some people might be like, why are you telling all these? Well, Gray Sheep Society. Some people wonder why some of their adult kids or even their own kids they can't stand them, or why there's so much friction and just so much stuff. And part of the reason might be because of who your parents allowed you to date. And yeah, because it's like I ended up dating behind their back a lot. And yeah, like I said, it's like I'm gonna put myself on blast. I'm gonna admit it, because when I did try to date guys my type, you're just trying to be white. You must hate yourself. Why do you date these white guys? Well, black guys keep saying I'm trying to be white, I'm trying to be too proper. Why do I talk white? Why do I do this or do that? Or why am I trying to write my books? That's nerd. Why are you trying to be a nerd? I'm not going to date a nerd. I don't want anything to do with nerds. And so many other things. And that's normally the black man. With white guy, like some of the white guys, Caucasian, European American men, some of them still don't like it, but they tolerate it. At least they pretend they like it for to a degree or whatever. From what I have noticed, and I know this is not all black men or all men, but these are the men that I have witnessed, and that is one reason why I ended up in the absolutely terrible relationships that we're in. Because when I'm at home and I'm hearing no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. When I hear that you're fat and you don't walk right, or you walk like, yeah, some terrible things she said. And it's like when you're being torn down over and over and over again, when there is a guy who literally blackmails me and tells me, if you don't love me, I'm going to eliminate myself. If you don't date me, I'm going to eliminate yourself. If you don't spend time with me, I'm going to eliminate myself. And even when his grandmother and I catch him, when we catch him on special candy and he needs to get clean or whatever, instead of, just going through the pace or whatever, because I'm like, after you get clean, we're done. I want to make sure you're healthy. I want to make sure that you get your life together, but we are not a good fit. What does he do? He goes down in the basement and creates a noose and tells me that if I leave him, he is going to dot, dot, dot. You get the gist. You know what he's going to, yeah. And he did this so many times. And this is why, like, I'll keep mentioning his wife, because for some reason she thinks I wanted him, or wanted, like, I broke up with him because I was just like, like, because his grandmother passed away, and it was his grandfather and him. And it was just like, there's different things in his life where now he had to do for his grandfather. He could no longer use the excuse of I am going to eliminate myself from the earth, because it used to be his grandmother that kept up with his grandfather. He didn't have that anymore. So now that I know that he can't, because his older brother and his girlfriend, they were watching the clock. They were like, oh, they're gonna he and his older brother would literally, and his girlfriend would be like, they're not gonna be here forever, and we're gonna have the house. I mean, their mouths were watering. They could not wait for them to pass away, because they were just like, we're going to get the property. And that means we're never going to have to get a job. Or I was like, well, she had different reasons of not really having to work. But with him, he never wanted to have a job. He was determined to never work. And then some of the things I found out they were doing, I'm like, no, leave me out. Nope, I'm out. Like, I'm going to leave the bedroom because you guys are doing, like, no, no. Yeah, and since, mm-mm. It's like watching white people do criminal things. No, I'm good. I'm out. I'm out. I am so out. Leave me the crap. out. And then they kept calling me bougie or stuck up and stuff because I didn't want any part of it. And I'm just like, but then when Mr. No Heart's mom has the nerve to tell me that the only reason I have my education is because I'm black, the only reason that I get either my positions or all of the things I've worked on is because I'm black. And then I have witnessed so many Caucasian people, so many white people do some shady, awful, stupid, despicable things. I have seen some, but then they want to judge or stereotype black people, and or they want to tell me I am supposed to be like them, or they tell me I am shocked that you are not like them. But then they are surprised when I break up with them. You're the best thing that ever happened to him. Yeah, I know. Because I try to be the best woman I can be, but I can only tolerate so much stupid. I can only tolerate so much crazy. hmm So let's get back to the Christian guy because, yeah, that relationship helped me realize that, like, and yeah, I'm never going to get married. So I ended up, like, I learned a lot with dating, but at the same time, I learned a lot about my value and how majority of men just want, like, I'm not someone that men want to love, they just want to use. I've realized that. I know that. And yeah, I was like, I'll save that for a different episode of the Gray Sheep Society. But yeah, I'm not someone that is the love type. I'm like, because the pattern of men that I keep meeting, they always want, and or they always want to force me. Like, I guess since I'm very bubbly and cheery and everything like that, a lot of men find me as weak and they cannot overpower and they can force me to do what they say, which is another reason why I never want to be in a relationship with a conservative Republican, religious conservative Republican, especially because they will take the submissive as power. And so with the Christian guy, I told you he wasn't the chauvinistic type and everything like that, but yeah, again, no goals, no dreams. And at my house, I keep hearing how my mother keeps telling me I'm never going to get anywhere in life. I'm going to be a failure, that no one's going to want me, love me, or marry me. But then I kind of think she wanted me to marry this guy because she saw everything she said about me was about, like, no offense to him, but was kind of about him because he had no goals or dreams or anything like that. So I think she wanted me to marry him on purpose to make sure that she could continue harassing me, saying all of these awful things. Because, I mean, and I hope he did find his goal. Like, I'm not going to say he never, but during that time while I dated him, he didn't. Nothing at all. Absolutely no goals, no, like, every time I would ask, and this is the thing, like, even back at the episode when I talked about the bride leaving the groom on Love is Blind, I'm like, no, talk about this at the beginning. And like, one reason I was able to break up with him so quickly and easily, I bring up tough topics. And a lot of men hate that. If you've been reading the screenshots that I put in episodes, yeah, if you haven't, go back. A lot of men hate that I bring up the tough topics. And some men are just like, date me a few times. At least get in bed and show, like, I'll show you that I know what I'm doing. You'll be happy with that. It doesn't matter if we don't have anything in common, as long as we like each other. Having things in common, especially politically, means a lot to me. And a lot of men say I'm stupid for that, but then I'm like, well, if you think that's stupid, that means you think I'm stupid, and I don't want to date or marry a guy that thinks I'm stupid. So that means I don't want anything to do with you. And then they hate when I get to that point because I tell them that too. Not all of them, because some of them are just kind of boring. Absolutely, yeah, to the point. And but during, like, while my mom was saying all of these awful things to me, she was like, she was so delighted because she found a guy that didn't really have any goals, dreams, or aspirations, but he was a Christian black man. And he was similar to the guy from her past that everyone thought she was going to marry. And I know this because even when we went to one of my, like, to a couple of my aunt's houses, but one particular, my mom would tell her about this guy, about this Christian guy that I was dating. And she was like, "Oh, he sounds so much like dot dot dot." And part of me, I was in horror. I'm like, "Oh no, I cannot, no, never." And then I went to another family's house. "Oh, I hear you're dating, blah blah blah. He sounds just like dot dot dot." The same exact dot dot dot. I'm like, no. And it just kind of felt like, no, mm-mm. Like, you keep telling me that no one's ever gonna want me, love me, or marry me, and now you found somebody that reminds you of dot dot dot, and now you want me to marry him. Yeah, she wanted me to marry him. But I mean, there's so many reasons I broke it off, but a lot of it was like everything was going, like, targeting me. Everything was like, it was just too much. And he didn't know what in the world he wanted to do with his life. I at least knew some of the things I wanted to do with my life, but I had to get out of the house because I wasn't allowed to start the YouTube channel. I wasn't allowed to write and publish my books. My mother threatened to throw me out. Literally. When I say literally, you do not know how, like, if go back, because I tell so many stories. The time she found one of my journals with my stories, and she had a piece of luggage halfway packed because she told me to fill it up with the rest of the stuff, but she wanted to make sure I had A, B, and C or whatever. And or she threw out some of my prized possessions, things that I either worked hard for, saved money on. It's like, next, like, I'm looking around the house, I'm looking around my room for something, then around the house, and she's like, "What are you looking for?" And I tell her, and she's like, "Oh, I threw that out. I found out you're still writing." Okay, so now you're throwing out my stuff because I'm working on my dream. This is one of my dreams. So then, like, that's why I hid notebooks of my writings in the under the sink in the bathroom. Yeah. But then I'm looking, like, so I think another reason why my mom adored this guy so much is because he had no goals and dreams. And she's trying to suffocate my goals and dreams. So if I'm with a guy who has no goals and dreams, that means maybe that I won't work on my goals and dreams. And later in life, like seeing Mr. No Heart and Mr. Lockakey, Mr. Lockakey kept saying, "I'm too old for this, I'm too old for that," talking about himself. It's like, I want to be a rapper, but now I'm too old. I can't do this anymore because I'm too old. Then Mr. No Heart, he would tell me, like, with the you're too old to have kids, you're too old for this, you're too old for that, you shouldn't be doing that, why are you wasting your time with this? I know more creative people than you. I know people who would do a better job at this. I know. And he would do this constantly, so much. So I don't know, like, and maybe I'm wrong, this is all in my opinion, but the patterns and the things, especially when with men, men when it comes to women with goals and stuff, and then my mother. For some reason, anything and everything I wanted to pursue as a goal and dream, no, not in her book, not no. And so I already told you guys I broke up with him, and I'm so happy. I like till this day I'm so happy that I did. But it's like he started dating this other young lady, and I was like, yes, yes, he's on to somebody else. But then it's like my sister thought I was gonna start getting mad because my perfect sister too, she was just like, he's only dating her to get you jealous. He's trying to get you jealous so he can get you back. Okay, then he's an idiot because this girl was like while I was dating him, she was already trying to get like she was trying to break us up then. And part of like when because even when I was thinking about breaking up, I was like, oh, well, she's trying to assist, so whatever. I don't even care. Keep doing it. Keep do you, boo. It's like she did not realize. And the thing is, it's like she stopped for a while. But do you know how many times this girl has looked at my LinkedIn profile and or when I post that like something about my children's books or my channel or whatever, next thing I know she's giving a thumbs up. She hasn't done it in a while because I think she realized that I don't really care for her, like because the way she tried to still like because I ended up wanting to break up with him, but it was just so crazy with how hard first she was trying to break us up, and then I saw it, but it didn't matter because I was already going to break up with him. But as soon as I did, and then he only dated her to try to get me back. But okay, so to like, and I will tell like I'm trying to tell the whole base of it because I'm going to break it all down later because, oh, this girl, this girl. And yeah, she might listen to this one day. I don't care. I don't care. But so after I break up with him and he's dating this other girl, and my sister, my perfect sister, is telling me about it and telling me that he's trying to get me back, he's still trying to text me or email me, call me, or whatever. And I'm like, no, leave me alone. And so then I find out he is still talking to my sister and my mother. And this is one reason why I like watch the Gray Sheep episode about the white eyeliner. My mom was talking to people off campus, talking to my now ex-boyfriend, and I guess he was telling her he wants to get back with me. So then they planned to trick me because back in the day there was a Romeo and Little Bow Wow. Like I didn't even listen to these guys. I did not listen, like only like if they're on the radio or whatever, but I was not much of a fan or whatever. So it's like they try to trick me. It's like my sister be like, "Oh, let's get tickets. Let's go to a concert." When we never went to like, I went to the Alicia Keys concert. That was my first concert. I wanted to go to another one, but my mom told me no because you're gonna end up doing something stupid or your friend like oh yeah because my mom used to tell me and like whenever like when I say every time I was alone with her, she would say that since I'm stupid that all my friends are stupid, so she's never gonna let me out of the house with people that are stupid. And she was like, whenever I'm in a study group, I'm probably with stupid people. And but she was like, if my perfect sister is with people, she's smart, so she trusts them because they're going to be smart, and her friends are smart because she's smart. But since I'm stupid, everybody I hang around with must be stupid too. So yeah. So and that's another thing. So if you think I'm stupid and everyone I hang out with is stupid, wouldn't you think that the guy I'm dating is stupid? I mean, come on. Come on now, you know? So they try to trick my stupid butt into going to a Romeo and Little Bow Wow concert. And lo and behold, they didn't like, they were going to get a set of 4 tickets right next to each other and make sure that my perfect sister got two of the tickets that were next to each other, and then the Christian guy was going to get the other two. And coincidentally, like, him and I were going to sit right next to each other. I was, oh, this is when I was tired of being tired. I was just like, leave me alone. We're not getting back together. Leave me alone. And okay, but I'll skip over that because there's a little bit more to it. But a couple years later, he gets married, and I'm like, yay! My mom was so upset when I was literally like, yay! I'm happy for him. Oh my gosh, it's like she told me I had to vacuum the entire house or do something because your stupid butt, you're happy that he's like, he got married. How are you happy? You're so stupid. You're going to vacuum this house. And then she told me to clean the wall. She told me to do some other stuff too. But I got punished because I was happy because he got married. And so after we went to church or whatever, and he talked to my mom. Yeah, he's like, I don't even know how long he talked to my mom for. But even like, part of me is like, why didn't you invite her to the wedding? Because after they got married or whatever, after church or whatever, my mom was like, and you're going to follow me into the foyer or whatever, like the outpost of the. They called it something with the F or whatever. But anyway, it's like, well, it doesn't matter. And so I follow her. I didn't know what was going on at first because she told me I had to follow her. And I'm exhausted because early morning, like 8 or 8:30, 8 a.m. service or whatever. And I was I forgot what I was working, but it's like I was exhausted. And so next thing I know, I see him and his wife or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever, like what? And my mom's like, hi, Christian guy, how are you? Oh, and I'm so happy you got married. And she was just like, oh, are you gonna shake her hand? I don't want it. Like, you told me I had to come over here. I don't want any, like, okay, so now you're telling me I have to speak to, like, this is your business. I broke up with him. He is none of my business anymore. You are the one wishing that he was your son in law. You're the one wishing you had something to do with him. I want nothing to do with him. And so it's like, I just kind of shrugged my, I was just like, oh no, I was like, yeah, hi, hello, how are you? I'm like, we don't need to shake hands. I don't care. It was like, you're trying to drag me to, because now I think you want me to be jealous. I think you want me to have regret when we have, I don't love him. I didn't like him anymore. I had no interest in him anymore. And if congratulations if she did. And now part of me is wondering, because I was working so much, like 'cause I was working at the zoo and everything else. I'm like, did she go to the wedding and I just didn't know? She could have. I don't know. And at the same time, I would have been like, yeah, boo boo, do what you do. Go to that wedding. I don't care. Have a second slice of cake. I don't like, whatever. Um, because I just remember when we walked away, how dare you? It's like, you're not even upset. You're not mad. No, because I don't love him. And then, like, we got home or whatever, and oh, I had it. She slapped the mess out of me. How dare you? You lost out and you're not even upset, and pow, right upside the head. And he was like, you're never gonna find anybody. No one's ever gonna love you. And you know what? She was right on that. And I mean, well, kind of like, because Mr. Lakaki only dated me for either my money and also the image of dating somebody who had a lot of goals, but then he hated the goals. And so he wanted to downplay them. That, like, he's complicated. And then Mr. No Heart is like, he played that he pretended he liked my goals for a little bit, would watch the documentaries and all this other stuff, but again, once he asked me to be his girlfriend, You're too old for this. You can't do that. Why are you doing this? It's like, that's dumb. That's stupid. My friends can do better. I can do better. And it was just like defeated, defeated. And then dating Tomas. If you've been listening, you already know about Tomas. It's like he literally broke up with me because I published my second or third children's book. And then other guys, what kind of man would want a smart woman? Oh, you got 3 degrees? Oh, no, you better never tell that to my family. You're not going to make me look dumb. And so, am I happy that I broke up with Christian guy? Absolutely, yes. We would have not been, we would have been divorced. I promise you, we would have gotten a divorce. And I never knew what his goals or dreams were over months. And like, and I'm not saying he has to plan everything out, but if you don't have a passion, like at least one passion outside of the church, something. And then, like, because I mean, even if your passion is the church, are you going to get your license to, are you going to go to the ministry school and everything like that? Like, I know I wouldn't have married him then because I'm like, I'm not marrying a pastor. Heck no. No, 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 no. I'm not your girl. I'm not that girl. No, never. But it's like I just went, like, other than going to church and then staying, like, going to my job and sitting there for over an hour, and or until I got off work, or it just seemed like, who are you? And back at the Love is Blind at the altar, it's like he didn't know much about politics. He didn't have a point of view. He didn't have this. He didn't have that. And once she was there, she was like, either I don't like your stance or I don't know your stance, and I do not want to marry somebody where I don't know. And this is why I keep saying, ask those questions ASAP. It's better to have a broken heart after a first or second date than filing for divorce because you're finding out the person you married, like, reminds you of a monster. They may not be a monster, but they remind you of a monster. It's like, if they want to punish LGBTQ community, if they want to punish women for abortion rights, even when they miscarry and it was out of their control, if they're against, like, LGBTQ marriage, or some are even against interracial marriage, and I mean, there's so many other things, but it's like some of them, like, know their passion, know if they want kids, because yeah, that's why I love Bumble. Bumble is great because I get to know, like, you tell what their political stance, and if they want kids, some of the most vital questions in a relationship. And I'm able to just swipe left, and, like, even if the guy is attractive, because a lot of guys, even on some of the dating apps, I've swiped left so many times. And then some of them is really creepy because with Facebook, if you have a unique name, that when they look me up and write me, it's like, how come it feels like you never swiped right on me? I want a chance. Give me a chance. Or they write me a private message in the Facebook dating. Swipe right this time. It's like, I don't know who you're judging. Or they see that I won't date a Republican or Orange Man supporter. And oh, that's when they get mad. You better swipe right. I'm the best man you're ever going to see. Republican men, we're the best. You don't even understand. You're so stupid. And I'm like, oh, since I'm stupid, you shouldn't want to date me. Thank you for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And yeah, there's more on this too.